Attorney General Bondi will fire SDNY staff hiding Epstein files. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so, because it's just wrong that they are protecting these pedos. It's ridiculous that this is happening. So we're gonna talk about it. And but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, we're going to play a clip from her in a little bit. But the Independent Sentinel reports that Attorney General Pam Bondi told Mark Levin last night that she was misled by the FBI's New York field office regarding the Epstein files. She was told there were only 120 pages while they sat on thousands. The takeaway here is that she said she will fire them. Bondi joined Fox News, Life, Liberty, and Levin on Thursday to give an update on the state of the Epstein files phase 1. The rollout devolved into a PR nightmare. A 120-page release, which was given to a select group of MAGA influencers, was a heavily redacted nothing burger because it contained already publicly available information. Host Mark Levin asked, I want to get into the Epstein thing a little bit. I think the American people are very curious about who's on this list or these lists. You have been doggedly trying to get all the information. Now we learn, thanks to you, that you've been stonewalled by people in New York. Do you want to explain that? So let's just get to the clip here. I mean, this is crazy that these people are allowed to withhold information from their bosses. Like, how does this happen? I mean, the deep state is still deeping. The deep state is still in that nasty, filthy, muddy swamp. But let's play the clip here. Here we go.
Welcome back, America. We're here with, and I'm very excited about this, Attorney General Pam Bondi, a good friend, especially a good friend of my wife, but a wonderful lady, a great lawyer. Welcome to the program, Madam Attorney General. I want to get into this Epstein thing a little bit. I think the American people are very curious about who's on this list.
Absolutely,
or these lists. You have been doggedly trying to get all the information. And now we learn, thanks to you, that you've been stonewalled by people in New York. Do you want to explain that?
Hold on. Before she get into it, let me remind people, this is the same New York office. And I had to go, I mentioned this yesterday, and after I mentioned it, I had to go back to double check, and I was right. This is the same office that had Anthony Weiner's laptop, you know, the disgusting laptop where he was sexting underage girls, teenage girls, and I think he's a congressman. I can't remember what I should have researched that. I forgot what Anthony Weiner used to be, but he was in our government and he was sexting teenagers, and he just basically got a slap on the wrist. Hold on, I just realized that I was not playing. I was not showing the screen here. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Let's show the screen here. My apologies. I didn't even show the screen. I didn't even show Mark Levin. But anyway, it's crazy that this is the same department that protected Anthony Weiner. You know, New York police officers was throwing up and stuff, and these are New York police officers have been on the force for a long time, was throwing up and things when they saw Anthony Weiner's laptop, and then all of a sudden we didn't hear anything else about the laptop. Laptop disappeared. They probably threw it in the river somewhere, probably threw it in the Hudson, and he basically got off on whatever the disgusting stuff that was going on his laptop. This is that same place. This is that same FBI office that took that laptop. But let's play the clip here. Here we go.
Yes, Mark. So as you know, we released about 120 pages of documents, and I started asking for these documents right when I came into office and before Kash Patel was in there. So I ended up getting about 120 pages we carefully redacted them, of course, to be sure the 254 young girls, women who are victims of sex crimes and sex trafficking, their personal information was redacted and out of there to protect them. So I'm going through it and I kept saying, there has to be more. There has to be more. I'm assured that's it. Cash asked the same questions. Assured there's no more. I found out, this week that a source told me New York, SDNY, they're sitting on thousands of pages of documents regarding Epstein. Thousands. And of course, you've seen the very strong letter. We will get everything. A
very strong letter. I'm sorry, Pam. You need to do more than send a very strong letter. You need to send feds in there to that office, and heads need to roll. That's what needs to happen. A very strong letter. Do you think these deep staters care about a very strong letter? They're probably destroying information right now as we speak.
We'll have it in our possession. We will redact it, of course, to protect grand jury information and confidential witnesses, but the American people have a right to know. And Donald Trump is the most transparent president in our nation's history. So not only will America get the full Epstein files, they will get JFK, they will get Martin Luther King.
Well, that's fantastic, but I assume the Southern District of New York is or has been holding on to this information for a reason. That is, they don't like the names on the list.
They're protecting powerful. I mean, it's obvious that they're protecting powerful people. I mean, that is obvious.
Of course, we know New York is a hotbed of the Democrat Party, and that includes in legal circles. Do you think that's part of the issue here, that they're trying to protect a lot of names and individuals?
Of course.
Mark, I have not reviewed the information yet. And as a lawyer, as a prosecutor, I want to review everything before I make a firm conclusion. But I think it's very interesting that they withheld that from us. And I will find out who withheld it, and they will not be working for us anymore.
So once all that's gathered, you're just going to put it out in the public with the obvious necessary redactions, including the people who were the victims and the phone numbers and so forth. But for the perpetrators, I assume that we'll see those names, yes?
Well, certainly. There's nothing can be withheld on that. Of course, as you know, grand jury information, anything confidential will be withheld under the law. And we're going to do everything in our power to protect the victims so they're not further victimized also. Let
me ask you a question kind of in this vein.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to know who these agents are that are protecting these pedos. I don't think we're ever going to know their names. She said, of course, I'm not very optimistic. I'm not very optimistic that we're going to get all of the information either. They have more than enough time to destroy evidence by now. And I think that's what's happening. Again, sending a strong letter is not going to stop the deep state.
And it may be too early to know because you just got to the Department of Justice. This guy, Jack Smith, his team of lawyers and so forth and so on, do we know yet, and I happen to know that is a big damn department with a lot of people, and so it just takes time to figure things out, but do we happen to know yet whether they complied with all the requirements of the Presidential Records Act and the Espionage Act? That is, did they store all their materials for you folks to look at when you choose to look at it? Do we know that? Or did they remove or destroy any of it?
Mark, that's what we're looking at now. We're going through all of that. And now that I just
got
Kash Patel in as FBI director, he's, of course, a tremendous help.
I think it's too late. I think they destroyed this information. They took too long. They had more than enough time to destroy this information. So when they said that's all they got, that's probably all they got because they destroyed the thousands of other evidence. So they might be telling the truth. That might be all they got, those 120 pages.
I've been in office, barely 2 weeks, and it feels like 2 years. We are going nonstop. We will get to the bottom of that. And as you know, the first thing I did was fire the Jack Smith team. That was the ultimate weaponization of our country and our government.
Don't you get a little frustrated, or worse, I would, reading these stories about how...
Oh, there you have it. There you have it. It's wild. I'm not very optimistic right now. I was a little optimistic when I first heard that they were going to be releasing this stuff, but now I'm like, you know what? They destroyed the evidence now. It's gone. And they sent a strongly worded letter. That really pisses me off. That's the best you can do. Send a strongly worded letter. You should have sent feds out to the SDNY to arrest those people for holding back. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.